have probably questioned ourselves on. And it's, why do I feel a little bit lost? And how can I feel a little bit more, I don't want to say found, but more centered, more grounded? Going into a new year, this topic is important. I mean, any topic that we discuss here in Successful Sundays is important, but this one is particularly important because it allows us to clear up the energy of what it is to come and what we're preparing for the new year. So, first things first, let's just take 3 deep breaths just to clear out the energy. We're going to inhale through our nose, and if you're able to do so, hold your breath at the top for 3 to 4 seconds, and then we're going to exhale through our mouth and sigh it out, okay? So, again, inhale through our nose, hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale. There you go. 2 more times, in through your nose. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. There you go. One last time. So, in through your nose. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Side out. Yes, we're gonna clear out the energy, and if there's anything that we've been holding in and suppressing, we're allowing it to flow out. We're not bringing it to the new week that we have ahead. Today is Sunday, November the 16th, which is shocking, but it's all good. We're in a brand new week, month. It's crazy to think how much time we have left in 2025. Um, so this is just more of like, we're preparing our mind, our energies, our intention for this week. So I want you to just think about real quick before we get into it in more detail, like what is one thing that you want to carry, a word, maybe a phrase, a motto, a mantra that you want to carry into the new week. Maybe it's just getting more rest. Maybe it's putting yourself first. Maybe it's just allowing yourself to have a cup of coffee, a hot cup of coffee, without distractions, without anything that's going to hold you back. Just you and your coffee or tea, perhaps. I'm not trying to not shout out to the tea drinkers out there. But kind of getting into the idea of this topic, let's waste no time, is just knowing what your foundation is so that you know what your purpose. That word purpose is, it could roadblock a lot of us. It could hold us back because we feel like we're not doing what we should be doing, right? Like the should word. I sometimes I can't stand that word because it makes us think that we're not doing what we are supposed to be doing, that we're almost like inadequate, which is not even true. The more that you find that your purpose is, I'm going to go a little bit more deeper into it, but the more that you find that your purpose is for you to exist, however that looks authentically to yourself, the less stress you will feel over time. So I kind of want to start off with kind of redefining the thought process of thinking that you are stuck or that you feel like you're lost, right? What you didn't know about your purpose becomes clear when you tend to explore who you are. The more that you get to know yourself, the things you like, the things you dislike, you'll be able to set the boundaries to protect your peace, your joy, your love, and you get more clear on the stuff that you're no longer willing to accept. I can't put any more emphasis on why it's so important for you to figure out the stuff that you don't like. Because once you get that stuff out the way, it allows room for the things that you do like. I think in life, like sometimes we put so much energy into the negative that we forget about the positive, right? Because we think like some of the positive stuff is just expectation. But when you take a step back and you allow yourself to explore more than the bubble or the box that you are in, it gives you a chance to see a different part of like a different lens, perhaps, right? Like I call it kind of like almost the corner of the room where you just look, you're like, okay, I have all this, but what don't I have that I would like to explore or be curious or open? These words, curious and open, are so important in your growth and in you finding your purpose. Because again, your purpose is not a title. Your purpose is you. And when you point your purpose, like when you think about your purpose more of an inner feeling, an inner being, it changes your perspective on life. It changes the way you move. It changes like the moves you're gonna make. And what decisions you decide to make as well. And I can't like stress that aspect enough. I know online I hear a lot of people say purpose, purpose, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, your purpose is to exist. And you figuring out what that even looks like for you, not how it looks for everybody else. Once you kind of get an idea of what are the things that you want to explore more, things that you want to try, your decision making changes. It becomes more easier. You're able to understand your patterns and the desires of what it is that you want. Remember, we're here on this earth not to just work all the time and just pay bills. That's part of it because it's a survival thing, right? Like we need money so that we could live, evidently, right? But there's a part of your life that you're actually able to enjoy and explore. There's some people I personally know that make more money than the average, but they don't do anything with it. They just go to work and come home. And cool if that's what they want to do, but they're not even open to exploring. Like people say that money could be, and it can help a whole lot for you to explore as well. But there's also free ways for you to figure out and look at life differently. And sometimes it takes a moment of you taking off the lens of expectation and putting on the lens of being free, having a free feeling, allowing freedom into your life, allowing ease into your life, allowing love into your life. And the more that you explore and the more that you realize some of the decisions that you've made have been centering around you not exploring. Some of the decisions that you made have been centered around patterns that's been passed on to you. Some of the decisions that you've made has been passed down from expectations that other people have put onto you, family members, parents, your environments. But the moment that you separate yourself from that, the desires of what you want open up even more. You're gonna see a different side of the world because I want you to think about it this way: the world itself is gonna do what it's gonna do. We've seen it, we've witnessed it. How sometimes evil and sometimes not evil the world can be. But you control your own world here and here. You control the decisions and the patterns and the desires and the things that you go after. You control that. So you could build your own world. Even I know it's chaotic outside world, but you could build your own world. I think sometimes we forget that, like how important it is. And the more that you start to build your own world, the more that you'll see like there's an alignment that's happening that allows you to introduce yourself to the real you. And it doesn't matter how old you are. I don't care. Like it, you could be all 90 years old and just getting to know yourself. But and some people say, "Oh, I'm too late." That's a bunch of bull. I'll tell you that flat out. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you're open to get to knowing who you really are, I rather spend a day saying that, "Oh man, at least I didn't know about myself. I didn't know this about myself before, but at least I know about myself now, and I could be 101 and die the next day, and I'll be okay with that." Because at least now I didn't waste another day, another 24 hours just saying, I don't know. At least I got a chance to explore it. Don't look at time as the end all be all. Even if you get a chance to just live in your truth, to me, that's massive. No matter what time, what part of your life you're in 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. I saw a video yesterday of this man, like, he was in like I don't know what kind of vehicle it was, but he dressed up as a Grinch and he was dressed up as a Grinch. So he dressed up as the sleigh of the Grinch and he was dressed up as the Grinch. And like I was like, you know what? Shout out to that guy because if he loves the Grinch, he's making people laugh, he's enjoying himself. What harm is he doing? But he's in his authenticity. He's a, we look at people like, yo, that's mad weird that they got all them tattoos and piercings. But do you know what how much guts it takes to be yourself in a world that will look at you and be like, man, that's odd. But you're like, yo, I'm happy. I'm myself. I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm free. I rather spend a lifetime being myself than spend a lifetime not being myself. That jeopardizes you so much more. And when you also again going back, getting to know who you are is part of that. By you just saying, "Oh man, you know what? It's far more easier." I'll put it this way. You may feel lost, but the way that you could find yourself is by you just exploring and being open and being curious. And instead of you chasing the little titles and peoples and relationships, because sometimes we hear the, oh, I just need to be in a relationship, or I just need this job, I just need I just need to run. No, no, no. Instead of chasing all these things, start like just aligning and chasing yourself. Get to know who you really are. Your likes, again, your likes, your dislikes, everything. Start chasing yourself. You're allowed to step back and say, you know what? I don't really know who I am. And getting all these titles and all these connections won't mean a damn thing unless I get to know who I am. Like we got these people that we idolize based off of what they got in their bank account, based off the notoriety. And half of them don't even know who they are because all they've done is spent their time on becoming said title. But if you strip all of those notoriety and the money and all of that away, you're just gonna have a human being. Are they gonna know who they are in that moment? None of that stuff makes any sense until you really get down to the nitty gritty of who you are and what you're about, and get to understand you. Get and fall in love with you, like every inch of you, the good, the bad, the part that was just there and you didn't know they needed a helping hand, the part that, because all of that equals to where you are right now. Every bit of it, the decisions that you made that didn't really hit right, the people that you connected to that you were like, man, you needed that. The moment that you heard a no, or the moment that you had any sense of rejection, all of that stuff was needed for you to get to the yes and to get to where you are right now. All of it is needing. It's all stepping stone, right? If you think about a house, it's made out about a bunch of bricks, center blocks. Each block represents foundation. Without that, what are you gonna have? You have nothing to put to build a house in. So when you think about that, every no, every every rejection, everything that you feared, all the stuff that you would quote unquote think is bad, it was necessary to get to where you are right now. It's necessary for you to move forward. It's needed. The best way I could put it, it is needed for you to get to where you are. So I want you to think about a couple things. I want you to think about what where have you been chasing in terms of the outside portion of your life? Where have you been chasing outside of you instead of within you? What part of your life have you been constantly going after, but you haven't been able to center that within yourself? What part of your life that you know damn well you keep and another thing is, you need to get on the attracting game, alignment game, not the chasing game. The things that you're aligning yourself with means more when you align or when you attract it versus you chasing it down. Because what happens, like I think about there's like a cartoon I've seen many times. Like they'll have like something tied to a fishing pole, and then someone's holding the fishing pole, and then you're running after it. If you keep chasing, you may not even get it. You may not reach it. But if you attract it, you'll attract more. More will flow to you. What part of you have you been avoiding or overlooking? What part of you right now that you know you need maybe more love, you need more fun, more joy? I had a community meeting last week. We meet up once a week, and we're just talking about like what are things that we want to do in 2026 and where we feel like we were maybe like lacking a little bit. And one of my community members mentioned fun, and I immediately was like, ah man, that hit. I've been so focused on building my business where the summer passed me, and I forgot to do some of the stuff that I wanted to do in the summer. And I said, we're not missing it next year at all. Like some stuff I'm even doing right now to not play catch up, but to remind myself to still have fun. That word, fun, enjoying. We're allowed to enjoy life, right? All enmeshed with us not feeling like we're lost. These things are made for us to not feel lost. They're made us to feel not even so much of found, but just more grounded. What's the truth about yourself? What truth about yourself came up this week? Maybe nothing came up, but maybe there's something that not this week. Maybe something recently came up, and you're like, you know what? I really don't like that, or I actually enjoy this. Again, it's about getting to know who you are. This is how you can remove that word lost and replace it with not even found, being grounded. And what do you need this week to feel grounded, to feel aligned, to feel supported? What are some of the things that you need to do for yourself to feel aligned, to feel grounded, to feel supported? And if you're going to say, well, coach, I don't have that externally, then how do you do it for yourself internally? We got to stop using that as an answer. It's truth, don't get me wrong, but okay, I'm going to challenge you even more. Forget about the external. How can you take care of yourself internally? So a few ways that you could focus on, and I want you to try this week. A few ways that you could focus on if you feel like you're like, I'm feeling so lost. It's about dialogue with yourself. It's about having the conversations, sometimes the difficult conversations with yourself. And as a coach, I do this. You could be here, and I'm like, now let's go deeper. Because the more that you go deeper and you get down to the raw dog truth, which sometimes that word truth is difficult for us. I know myself, it was once difficult for me. The better off you are in the end, the more will come out in the end, the more centered you'll feel and the less lost you feel. So I want you to do like a self check in ritual. I do this with myself all the time. I've talked about it multiple times. I ask myself, like, how am I doing today? I do it first thing in the morning, no TV, no nothing, no phone, just a out loud speaking conversation with myself. I used to think I was nuts, but now I understand like I was always centering and making sure that I was okay. But how do you feel today? What do you need? What do you need today? Do you need rest? Do you need silence? Do you need to go outside and be one with nature and connect to feel grounded? What do you need? And what will support me today? What will, again, we look for sometimes support external, but internal. What will make you feel supported today? And you can start with right now, just thinking, I will feel supported when I have repeated and completed. I will feel supported when I have, and then you complete that. The next tool that you can use is write down what have I been avoiding. Again, we're going from surface level to deep. We need to figure out what makes us feel this lost, right? So what have I been avoiding? And what would be the most honest version of me to choose? What would the honest version of me choose? What would you choose? Like what is the honest version of you? What what sorry. what what would the most honest version of me or of you choose? So again, write down what decision have you been avoiding and what would the most honest version of me choose? Another tool is of course boundaries. I love me a good boundary. I love setting boundaries. And choose a boundary for yourself of the week. See, when we think about boundaries, we constantly think about the external aspect, but you could create boundaries with yourself to hold yourself accountable so that you allow yourself that peace, that love, that joy. So you allow yourself to have that freedom that you're probably searching for. Maybe it's, again, like as soon as I wake up in the morning, I try my best to have less phone time. I'm a work in progress. As soon as I got my phone, I check emails, text messages, all these things. As my phone's in D&D overnight. So maybe it's less phone time. Maybe it's not responding immediately, which is one of my boundaries right now, where I used to feel so pressured. Like I gotta respond right away. But now it's like, okay, maybe I'm not in the capacity to respond right away. As a person who's an empath, I can't constantly always be like I'm ready available, I'm there, but sometimes I'm like, I need a break. I need a break. Protecting your rest. What does that even look like to you? Does that mean putting your phone in D&D at night or when you take a nap or just for a few hours of the day just to center yourself and just have silence? You know what I mean? And saying no to commitments that are draining you. I know that one is difficult for a lot of us because we put no as disrespect, but that's not the case. No doesn't mean disrespect. No means respecting ourselves. That's what no ultimately means. No means respecting who we are and respecting ourselves. Now, I want you to also think about just like maybe a quick reset that you would need. And this is something you could do within like 3 to 5 minutes. like maybe even less, maybe even less. So we just did one before the beginning of this episode. We did just like a super quick, I think it was like less than 60 minutes, where we just grounded ourselves with three deep breaths. We held it at the top, and you can even add in something like relaxing your jaw, dropping your forehead, dropping your shoulders, taking those three deep breaths. You can do that throughout your day. You don't have to just do it when you're meditating or when you're just trying to pray or have moments. You could just do it. I used to drive the city bus. I would do it every time I was at an end station. I would get out, stretch, always stretch my hip flexors because they would crack as I got out of the seat. And I would take three deep breaths just to center myself and just to like regulate my nervous system. You could do that too, especially if you're in a high stressful job or high stressful environment. I would highly suggest it. It's so, I know it seems so simple. Take three deep breaths, coach. I get it. But to be honest, like it's the more you do it, the less you'll feel so tensed as well. And also have like a release and reset intention statement. Take a step back. If you're noticing that even right now, I want you to relax your jaw. I want you to relax your forehead. I don't want you to drop your shoulders. We forget to do these things. We forget that how our body is constantly in motion. Every now and then I'll lay on my couch and I don't move for about 10 minutes from the waist down. I just lay there and allow my body to sink in my couch or in my bed. It all depends. So allow yourself to just release any energy that's holding you tense and reset yourself with an intentional statement like, I am in a moment of rest. I need this moment of rest. I need to be free. I need to be relaxed. I need to center myself. Create your own. Use technology as well, by the way. And I'm a journaling person. I love journaling. I journal now. I used to journal every day. Now I'm about to 1 to 2 times a week. I'm actually now using apps and I do voice to text, which is easier for me. I do written once a week, but I do voice to text with different apps every day. Um, and I want you to think about this prompt, and I'm going to use this one actually right after this live. Who am I choosing to be this week? A person with rest, a person with peace, a person with joy, a person with no mask, being myself. Who am I choosing and why? What is the importance of you choosing this person? What are you gaining from it? What are you also needing in terms of when you're choosing? What do I need to be for this week? And it could be repetitive, but it's important for you to just get rid of the thought process of it being so difficult. It's actually more simple than we think. That's why sometimes we feel lost because we put such like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have everything perfect. Please remove that out of your head. No one lives a perfect life, and that's okay. That's so totally fine. You're allowed to have moments of, what do I need this week? Who am I choosing this? Like, who am I choosing to be this week, and why? What am I needing in order for me to? Why am I choosing to be this person this week? Or like, what do I need? It's okay to ask yourself that sometimes. So as we close off with our live, I want you to think about the word loss as, what does it need? What do you need in order to be, as I say, found? But I say, what do you need to be grounded? What do you need in order to find yourself? And I want you to strip away what society is telling you and just simply ask yourself, what do I need? Do I need rest? Do I need peace? Do I need to get outside? Do I need food? Do I need to have a hot shower? And then take steps from that. The word loss, sometimes we again, it's pressure, man. Like it's so much damn pressure. But you got to remove the pressure aspect of your life just a bit. Like it's because you can control. There's certain pressures you have. Don't get me wrong, but there's certain pressures that you could actually remove. Sometimes I think we forget that part. That we are the captain of our ship. We are the master of our plan. Things are gonna happen. Again, I don't know if you can see it. Life be life, and people be people. Like I'm aware, things are gonna happen. But when we put so much more pressure on ourselves, like I need to find my purpose. I need this. I need that. Who's telling you that you need it? A bunch of people who probably don't even have it themselves. Who's telling that you need to find purpose? A bunch of people who are afraid to even be themselves? And at the end, your purpose, I'll say it until I got no more breath in my body. Your purpose is to simply exist. Figure out the things that you love. Figure out, and then how you figure out the things you love is by how does it make you feel when you do X? Is it freeing? And it's about exploring, it's about being open, it's about being curious. Not just saying, okay, well, this people are saying this is a stupid idea, I'm not gonna do it. No, give it a shot. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Try again. As we would say as a Jamaican, oh you and come again. So I hope you're able to get some gems out of taking a step back and removing the word I'm lost out of your vocabulary and allowing not even the word of being found, but the word of being grounded. And what does that feel like to you? And figuring it out, but also again being open and curious about open, curious, and flexible about what that looks like. I will not be here next Sunday. Next Sunday there'll be no successful Sundays, but you could check out again the Dope Life podcast. It's going to be released this Tuesday. We're getting down the nitty gritty of 2026, so please rock in. We're going to be doing goal settings of what you need to know in order for goal settings, and we're also going to have a vision board party probably the Sunday after the 23rd. So keep a lookout for that. I hope you guys have an amazing week ahead, and y'all know what to do. I hope y'all know what to do. Walk with peace